So in this video, I'm gonna tell you 5 things I hate and 5 things I love about Toronto. So if you're thinking about moving to Toronto or visiting Toronto, then you wanna watch this video first. So there are lots of things I hate and lots of things I love about the city, but I'm just gonna narrow it down to my top 5 that I hate and top 5 things that I love. So I'm gonna start with the things that I hate. The first thing that I hate about living in Toronto is the fact that it's so expensive. Everything is expensive, okay? I know you guys probably saw my apartment tour video. I'm gonna link it in the card above. But you see how small and tiny this box in the sky is. It's very small. It's just a studio apartment and it's so expensive. Everything is just overpriced. Everything is expensive. For example, back home for car insurance, we pay, I think the most I paid was like $600 for the entire year. And that was the first time I got car insurance back home. Here, you pay car insurance monthly, which when I first heard about it, I was like, something don't sound right about this. But you pay monthly. So I think the first time I got a car here, my insurance was about $600 a month. A month. Not a year, a month. So that just goes to show how expensive Toronto is. Food is expensive. Living is expensive. Just everything is just so expensive for no fucking reason. It's just expensive. The second thing that I don't like about living in Toronto is the fact that it's cold like 90% of the time. Okay, maybe not 90, I'm exaggerating. Like 89% of the time. It's really cold. It's like winter like 7-8 months out of the year as far as I'm concerned. It's just always freaking cold. Now, if you're gonna move to Toronto or in Canada in general, then you expect it to be cold, right? So that's not really something I should hate, but the fact that it lasts so long, like winter for like 4 months would be okay. I'd even take 5 months. But it's literally been cold, I think, since October. And it's still cold. It's still cold. And I check the weather forecast every day for the upcoming week, and it's still gonna be cold. So I don't know when winter is officially done, but it's just still cold. The other night, it was so cold, I just couldn't believe it. It felt like I was back in like January or something. It was crazy. If you're gonna move here, or if you're thinking about moving here, then just be prepared to be cold most of the time. Of course, after a while, you kind of get used to it. So like, once it's like, well, for me, once it's like, I would say 50 degrees Fahrenheit, I forget how much it is in Celsius, but once it's like 50 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm hot. I'm like sweating, I need water, I need to sit down, I'm hot. It's just cold, it's cold. So bring all your clothes, okay? The third thing that I don't like about living in Toronto is the TTC, or the public transit. The TTC is the Toronto Transit Commission. It's the public transit, the buses, the trains, the streetcars, all that other stuff. It's always some kind of delay or something going on, okay? I have a serious problem with the TTC, a serious problem. There's just always a delay. It's always something. It's always like somebody is pushing the emergency button on the train, or like somebody's fighting, or someone's jumping on the tracks. And I'm like, listen, if you want to jump on the tracks, do it after hours. But when I have to go to work, please don't jump on the tracks, okay? It's not so much of an issue now because, well, you know, I had a car before, then I sold that. Then I got another car, then I got rid of that. And then I was just taking public transit in between. So now that I have another car, it's not so much of an issue now. But you know, you can't drive everywhere. Sometimes you do have to take public transit. And I also work downtown, so it's not usually like parking. If I have a day shift, it's not parking, so I would probably take TTC. So I still have to deal with it to some extent. 8 times out of 10, it's some type of delay or some type of something going on with the TTC. And I've had it. I've just had it. I'm done. The fourth thing that I really don't like about living in, and this is more specific to living in downtown Toronto, is all the homeless people. Now, I don't have anything against homeless people or whatever the case may be, but the ones downtown are really special. I mean, they're different. You know, there's homeless and then there's homeless. And the ones that live downtown are homeless, okay? Like, I don't know how else to say it. They're not just homeless. You know, I shouldn't say homeless because a lot of them do have like somewhere to go, but they're just strung out and just like druggies, drug dealers, or listen, just crackheads, basically crackheads, okay? And they all seem to like be downtown all the time. So imagine getting off work at 11 o'clock at night and you have to take the transit or the TTC, so the train or the bus, and you live downtown. They're just everywhere and they're always begging for a change and some of them are really rude. I mean, if you tell them no, it's a problem. They get up in your face and they don't respect personal space at all, and it's just it's a lot. It's a lot of them. It's a whole bunch of them. And there's a certain area, Dundas and Sherburne, because I live on Dundas. But Dundas and Sherburne, oh my God, that's like the mecca. That's like the epicenter of all the crackheadedness going on. It's like that area right there. Whoo, child. I would listen. It's crazy. It is actually really crazy. Like, if you ever have to walk down Dundas and Sherburne, I don't even know if you're gonna make it through. I really don't know. And the fifth and the last thing that I really, really, really hate about Toronto or living in this city in general is that there is construction everywhere. I'm sitting in my box in the sky and I'm looking over at another building full of boxes in the sky that's currently being built. There's one over there, there's one down there, there's like 3 down there. And I mean, it's just everywhere. And anyone that lives in Toronto knows about the dreaded Eglinton. Eglinton Avenue is the worst, okay? They've been constructing and building on Eglinton Avenue since I got here, and they're probably gonna be doing that for another 20 years. I'm not even kidding. I guess like a lot of construction could be a good thing because that means jobs, and that means that, you know, well, to me, that's basically what it means, jobs. It's really annoying when you have to get somewhere. There's always like detours, not just if you're driving, but if you're also taking public transit. If you're gonna move here or if you're gonna live here, that's one thing that you have to temporarily, not today. Enough with your click clack, please. If you're gonna live in Toronto, you have to be prepared to deal with construction all the time. Whether you're walking, whether you're driving, whether you're taking public transit, you're gonna encounter it. It's gonna be a problem for you. It's gonna get in your way and it's gonna annoy you because 6 a.m., 7 a.m., they're outside banging stuff and making noise. So yeah. Some honorable mentions of things that I hate: parking. Parking is a problem. Either it's non-existent. There are signs on the east side of the street, the west side of the street, north and south. No parking, no parking, no parking, no parking. If you can park, there's a meter, and you know you have to put time on the meter between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. and then after 4, it's this new rule. And then they have signs posted that between October and March, you can't park on this side of the street. And between April and September, you can't park on this side of the street because of this. And it's really a problem. So now, moving on to 5 things that I love about living in Toronto. The first thing that I really love about living in Toronto is the hustle and bustle. I love the busyness of it. I love like all the, sometimes the traffic and all the people. Sometimes I really like that. A lot of people don't like hustle and bustle. They don't like city life and loud noises and all that kind of stuff. I don't have a problem with it. Sometimes I I actually enjoy it. I enjoy being in a like out in public with like a group of like a lot of people, and they're just all the hustle and bustle. I just like it. Just there's always people are always walking fast and just always have somewhere to go. Like if someone's walking slow, they're a nuisance to everybody else because everyone else is like walking really fast. They're on a mission, they have somewhere to go, they're like on like doing something, right? Something constructive. If you're gonna live in Toronto, you have to have money. You have to, if you don't have money yet, you have to know how to make money. So you can't really spend too much time sitting still. You always have to be, doing something. You have to be like creative and figure things out. You just have to always be going. And I found myself, like when I first came here, I was like, like one of those people that kind of walk slow because I'm used to that. But eventually I just found myself like walking really fast. Even if I'm not going anywhere important, like I could be going like down the hall to like throw the garbage out, and I'm walking really fast. Like I'm like in a rush, and I have to sometimes stop myself and be like, okay, listen. You're not actually going anywhere important, so just relax. I enjoy the fast-paced city life. The second thing that I really love about Toronto is the people. I know a lot of people say that, Torontonians or Canadians in general are very friendly. For the most part, I have to agree with that. I've very rarely come into contact with people that are not friendly or that are mean or that, don't say nice things. For the most part, people over here are really nice. I mean, unless, even some of the crackheads are nice. Like they're really nice, some of them. So yeah, I really like the fact that people are friendly. They'll go out of their way to help you. You can ask anyone for directions. In fact, when I first came, if it wasn't for the kindness of a lot of strangers, I wouldn't have been able to get a lot of the things that I got, like furniture and all that kind of stuff. It's just that people I didn't even know were reaching out to me, and they were like, hey, go here to do this, go there to do that, here, here's this, here's that. And people that I don't even know and that I haven't even seen ever since. So Canadians are actually really friendly. The third thing that I like about Toronto is there's actually lots to do. I know that after you've been living in a city for a while, it can kind of get boring to you because you're just used to it, and you might be like, there's nothing here to do, whatever. But for other people looking from the outside in, all they see is like stuff to do. And there's actually a lot of things to do in Toronto. There's always something going on. There's always like some kind of festival or some kind of street parade or some kind of event, concert or something. There's lots of like nice bars and restaurants and nightclubs and like different theater events and all kinds of stuff like that. So you just have to, like stay abreast of what's currently happening in the city. Like, check online, check different Facebook groups, because there's always something going on. There's always something to do. There's something happening every day or every night to keep you entertained. So that's one of the things that I actually really like about Toronto. The fourth thing that I love is the multiculturalism, the diversity. There are so many different types of people here from all different places, different backgrounds, different cultures, speaking different languages. And like I have friends from all different parts of the world. Like I have friends from Africa, I have friends from India, friends from Asia, friends from just everywhere, like everywhere that you can imagine. And it's a good thing because you get to learn about different cultures and the way that they do things. And they get to learn about the way that you do things and about your culture. And you develop like a mutual respect for different cultures. Whereas, before time, like before I moved here and I saw something that was like a different, I would just be like, oh, that's really weird. Or that's strange. Like, why would they do that? But now I don't see it weird. I see it as interesting, and I'm eager to like find out more about why people do the things that they do, or why does this culture eat with their hands as opposed to eating with forks, and why do we eat with forks as opposed to eating with our hands, things like that. So it definitely helps you to build a certain respect for other people, and you definitely learn a lot. You learn how to do things a different way, different from the way that you're used to doing it, and it could be a whole lot better, and it could definitely be more beneficial to you. The fifth thing that I love about Toronto is for the fact that it's a safe city. It's a safe place to live. Well, Canada in general, it's just, it's often ranked as one of the best places to live. It's often rated for like the highest quality of life. It's often, rated as one of the places that are the most livable. Our crime rate is pretty low in general. Of course, there's crime everywhere, and there are certain areas that you should avoid, especially late at night or when there's, like when it's dark outside, you should avoid certain areas. For a city that has millions and millions of people, Toronto is pretty safe, I would say. Just continue to be careful, but you'll be fine, I think. Some honorable mentions for things that I do love about Toronto is the fact that it's close to New York. It's just right across the border. If you ever want to take a shopping trip, or if you want to, just visit the US to do whatever you want to do, visit family, friends, whatever. I also like the fact that, everything here is very organized. Everything has its place. Everything is, it's a system. It's like different steps to do everything. It's just organized, which, where I come from, it's not like that. So everything here is organized, which is a good thing. And then also you're free to just be yourself, whoever you are. There's no one, like we say back home, ain't nobody on your run. Ain't nobody checking for you. Ain't nobody really looking at you like that. Like you could literally step outside. Oh, perfect example. The other day, I was parked outside of a Popeyes, and there was this van in front of me. And there was this family of there were like 3 kids and a mom and a dad. And those little stands on the side of the road that like where you can open up to pull the newspaper stands, pretty much like the ones where you can just open it up, take a newspaper and go, those. So they were parked next to one of those. And there were 3 kids, but 2 of them were standing by that newspaper stand thing, and they were butchering raw meat. Like it was a whole chicken, and they had like cleavers and a knife. These are little kids actually. They are no more than 10, and they're like butchering the raw chicken on top of the newspaper stand outside. And if anybody knows, those newspaper stands are dirty as hell. They are really dirty. A lot of them haven't even seen a newspaper in years. They're just there on the side of the street, okay? They are dirty. Oh, they are so dirty. And they were butchering a raw chicken on top of it. And I was just like, that is so nasty. But I guess, after, being here for a while, like, usually you would just sit and stare, and, you would just be like recording on like, what are they doing? But it was just kind of like, it was shocking to see, but it was kind of just like, okay, I see it next kind of thing. People were walking past and they would like take a quick look, and then they're just like, okay, like whatever. It was just like, here it's kind of just like, if that's your thing, do your thing. Because people are so busy walking fast to get to wherever they're going. They don't have time to stop and study you. Like nobody cares. You can walk outside with 20-inch heels on and a raccoon taped to the top of your head. And listen, people will just give you a quick glance and then keep it moving. And that's one of the things that I love about Toronto, is that no one's really looking at you. People don't care. They don't care what you have on. They don't care what kind of car you drive. They don't care, like, nothing. Like, people don't care. It's like you're just nobody to nobody. And I kind of like that. That is my list of things that I love and things that I hate about Toronto. If you like this video, please subscribe, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, and share it with all of your friends. If you're thinking about moving to Toronto, I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions or other things that you want to know, you can definitely reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to answer you as best as I can. So thank you guys for watching my video today, and I will see you all in my next video.